OpenAI CEO. If you don't know OpenAI, they're the ones, the masterminds behind ChatGPT. So it's good that you learn OpenAI and know who they are. Now we've got OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. I've talked about Sam Altman a couple times. This dude is way out of here, way out of the hemisphere, that's for sure. And he was also business partners with Elon Musk. So keep that in mind. But OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has said that the company is ultimately going to bring about capitalism's downfall. Very interesting timing that he's talking about how this is going to bring down capitalism because we know when the CBDCs come in, you can say goodnight to capitalism. So very interesting timing there. Now, what's interesting is Altman has claimed that he believes that killer AI could bring about the end of days. So you've got the OpenAI CEO here who believes that killer AI could bring about the end of days. Very interesting wording there. And he's the CEO of a company that's literally producing one of the most prolific and catastrophic AI programs out there. This is very interesting. It doesn't make any sense if you were to try and place logic on there, but it's very interesting. Now, the combining of ChatGPT AI with sentient AI or artificial general intelligence, so keep that in mind, AGI, or as Christians would know it, demonic intelligence. So he's specifically talking about how they can combine ChatGPT with sentient AI. AI that can think and learn for itself, that can move, can operate by itself. It doesn't need anything. So ChatGPT right now, everybody wants to talk about how it's almost, alive and everything. Well, it's still programmed. ChatGPT, I can never say that. ChatGPT is still programmed. And I mean, we've learned that with some of the tests that they're doing where people have put in a thing where it says, write a poem about Trump and then write a poem about Biden. It won't write one about Trump. It'll write one about Biden. Then somebody tested it and said, write a poem about Netanyahu. And then they tested it and said, write a poem about Xi. It won't write one about Netanyahu, but it'll write one about Xi. They've been doing all this testing and stuff, and you can clearly see it has a bias. You can clearly see it has an agenda, and of course, it's pushing forward the agenda that they want. I do want to say, guys, I don't recommend testing this AI stuff. I don't recommend dabbling in it, even if you're just curious about it and you just want to go and try something. I really don't recommend doing it. Because while the full-on demonic switch may have not been flipped on AI yet, they're in there. This is demonic technology. And the last thing we want to do, it's just like you wouldn't go and test a Ouija board. Oh, I'm not going to use it all the time, but I do want to test maybe a one part of it. I just want to try it one time just to see what's like. I really don't recommend doing it. You're free to do what you want. But from my perspective, from my outlook, I really don't recommend doing it. But do as you will. Do what you want. But so he's specifically talking about getting ChatGPT set up with a sentient AI system. Now, Altman admitted that creating AGI, artificial general intelligence, or the sentient AI, is the driving force for him and OpenAI. So again, he said that killer AI will bring about the end of days, but yet he's trying to create that killer AI. There's something very wrong with this. He said that when AGI happens, because I think everybody's talking about, when sentient AI comes about, when it's, I can't remember the word for it. It starts with an S. I can't remember it. But singularity, when singularity comes around, what does that mean? Well, I think that's going to be when that switch gets flipped and demons take over the whole thing. I don't think they've done it yet, but they're definitely in there. But I think singularity, and when that happens, I think that's going to be when the demons take over. But he said that when AGI happens, he can imagine all the ways that that it will break capitalism. I can think of a bunch of different ways it can break capitalism as well, because we're seeing AI literally in the past 6 months get injected into everything. I always like to say it's like a fungus. It is infecting everything, literally everything. And we're going to talk about some of the stuff, but it's taking over everything. They're putting it in everything. How many times can I say everything? I'm going to say everything, everything, everything. There's 3 more. So if you're keeping track, there you go. But demons controlling the entire financial system for the world that is literally connected to people's bodies, mark of the beast, would break capitalism, in my opinion. We talked about how you're going to need the digital ID for the CBDC to come in. So if you've got AI involved with all of that, it's now going to be AI involved with human bodies. It's going to happen. That's Bible tells us that's what's going to happen. That's what the mark of the beast is. We do know about the buy and sell part, but we also know about how it's going to start, or it's going to change what makes us human. What better way than by sticking some demonic AI in there and altering some human code, not only digital code, but human code. So we know it's going to be coming. So what is some of this stuff? Why am I talking about this financial stuff? Well, we're already seeing some AI involved with financial stuff. Coming in hot is now an AI investment fund powered by IBM's Watson supercomputer. The $102 million AI-powered equity ETF, it's just a fancy word of saying a program that runs the financial stuff, launched in 2017 and is beating the market by nearly 100%. By nearly 100%. The AI is already up 10.4% in 2023. If you don't know what that means, well, to give you an idea, investment giant Vanguard, which Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street, remember, I always tell you guys, remember those 3 companies. They are huge and involved with everything. But you've got this AI that's up 10.4% in 2023. Investment giant Vanguard, that's what they do. They're only up 5.67%. So this AI has basically doubled the elite banking investment giant. That should give you an idea of what's going on. So now we're seeing AI injected into the financial markets. You have to remember, these things like this is where they're going to start putting this stuff. It's not only going to be things like AI art and all the, ChatGPT, write me my thesis for my college class. It's going to be things like the financial system, investment, markets. If the markets aren't already rigged enough, this is going to do that. Now, we've got that one. There's another AI. Also coming in hot is Polygon's blockchain AI program, CharacterGPT. So there's a lot here. Blockchain AI. We know the CBDCs are going to be running on blockchain, with a lot of other stuff running on blockchain. So it's a blockchain AI program, and it's CharacterGPT. OpenAI has DALL-E. So DALL-E is basically the code that runs the AI art program, but also there's companies that have taken the DALL-E code and now are creating brand new medications from it. So you have to remember that as well. But DALL-E, which is famous for the AI art, basically uses its CharacterGPT is the next step of DALL-E. It's the next level, the next version of it that generates not only AI art, but also 3D avatars that can answer questions. So you can talk to now a 3D avatar. What's also interesting about this is Polygon, the company involved with it, has partnered with Alethia AI to launch the project. So it's in tandem with this. If you're curious about this, check this out.
Generative AI has the power to turn words into images. But what if these same words could create a fully interactive character?
Would you like some fries with that?
Introducing CharacterGPT.
Simply enter a brief text description, and you can generate an AI character with its own distinctive appearance, voice,
Howdy, partner.
and personality.
I'm fixing to ride off into that sunset. These bones got me feeling older than that Dare Mountain range.
You can upload history's greatest intellectuals, athletes, and artists. You could also upload yourself. And you could verify that identity and make a digital twin. You can make a dream version of you. Not only is CharacterGPT fun, creative, and entertaining, it's useful. You can make influential characters to gain mass followings, help preserve your culture, tutor you, or assist your customers. You can create characters that help assist you at work,
You have a 9 o'clock meeting with John.
at home,
Would you like some assistance writing your novel?
or bringing your dream to life.
Eres a recipe for chocolate mole you're gonna love.
And one day, your creation will be able to create as well. Welcome to the dawn of the generative age.
So, up front, you're probably thinking, wow, that's kind of interesting. I can see a lot of people getting sucked into that rabbit trail because it's a lot more advanced than the AI art stuff, which has already become an addiction for most people. This is going to get a lot worse. Now you've got a 3D avatar that you can interact with and ask questions and they can respond to you. So not only is it ChatGPT where you can have a conversation with a computer, but you're only reading text. No, now they're going to be able to talk and animate towards you. This is a full-on just luring. It's a seduction of getting people involved with AI. Now, there's two specific things that I want to point out on this. One, it said digital twin. What is something that I continue to talk about is they're creating a digital twin that's going to know more about you than you know about yourself. Me and Pete talked about this a lot with his Sentient World program that we were talking about. Well, the Internet of Things technology, what that is doing is it is creating a digital twin of you. And now they're literally saying, hey, come have fun with this 3D avatar and make one of you for your own digital twin. In case you didn't know, sitting in these data centers all over the world is a digital twin of you. It's basically like if you think of the game Sims, well, there's one of you in there. And it knows how you walk, it knows how you think, it knows how you talk, it knows everything. And all this is doing, it is gathering more information on you for that digital twin. The second thing is they threw it in at the end. They didn't expand on it. They just lightly said that these things eventually are going to be able to create themselves. They're going to be able to create things themselves. They're talking about advancing this stuff where the AI is just going to start creating things on its own. Yeah, well, that's going to be when the demonic takeover happens. There's a lot to unpack on that, but that's what's going on. Also worth noting that the company Polygon, who's behind this, the Polygon company has previously partnered with giants like Starbucks, Nike, and Disney, which could allow this AI to get a very quick boost to the public in use out there. Because if you've got companies like Disney and Nike and Starbucks pushing this in some way, I'm not a marketing expert, I don't know how they can do it, but if they do, you can guarantee there's going to be a lot of people out there saying, oh, that's my brand. I'm going to use what they're telling me to do. That's society now. Everybody is branded in some way, and they will wear, think, and use whatever that brand tells people to use. Well, I can definitely see that happening with this. So that's what's going on with CharacterGPT or GPT. So we've got the OpenAI stuff with ChatGPT. We've got the DALL-E stuff. We've got the financial AI. We've got CharacterGPT here. OpenAI itself is already boosting forward because after Microsoft laid off 10,000 of their workers, just a couple days later, they announced a $10 billion investment into OpenAI and ChatGPT. This is exactly what they meant by the AI is coming for your jobs. They laid off 10,000 people and then a couple days later put in a $10 billion investment into OpenAI. This also comes after already investing $1 billion in the ChatGPT to overhaul the new version of Bing, which was announced today that it is getting a soft release to select people. So this new Bing is already getting rolled out that has ChatGPT involved with it. But not to get outdone, Google is already answering the call. So Google also announced, was it today or yesterday? I can't remember. It was either today or yesterday. Also announced that they are rolling out in a private closed off release. It's still going public, but it's only for a certain amount of people, of Bard. This one you definitely want to pay attention to because ChatGPT is going to be a toy compared to this thing. So, Google's Bard. Bard is powered by LaMDA. This is something you want to pay attention to. LaMDA is language model for dialogue applications. If you're not aware of what this is the AI system that was declared sentient back in May of last year by a now fired Google software engineer. This is when that big news story came out where this Google software engineer basically came out and said, Google's got a AI program that is sentient. He says it's alive. He's interacted with it and he said this thing is thinking on its own. This is not running off of programming. Well, this Bard program that Google is releasing is this thing. Not only are they, now this is where it gets bad. Not only are they releasing this thing, but they're working on APIs, application things for tools that will allow anyone to plug into the LaMDA AI system and run their systems with it. I mean, you're talking about Skynet from Terminator. You're talking about Vicky from iRobot. You're talking about the Eagle Eye system from Eagle Eye. They're basically going to make it available for everybody else to plug their own systems into. This thing is going to be a volunteer virus. This thing is dangerous because not only are they releasing a system for people to use, but they're going to make it available that everybody else can plug their own stuff into. Don't know if that's going to be the hive mind, the hub of it, but it's looking that way. So I'm not saying that's it, but what I'm saying is it's looking that way. Something else could definitely come out of left field, that's for sure. I mean, we're seeing so many different AI programs and variations of this thing. So